Hello, you guys. Welcome back for another episode of Crypto News with Julie Kennis. I'm your host, Julie Kennis. As always, this show is powered by the Gokhshtein News Network and sponsored by Market Cypher. Thank you all for tuning in. We are back, baby. And we held on to 70K. I feel like the last couple of titles, I have just nailed it. So I'm remaining optimistic, and we are going to bounce from here. Why? Because there's so much geopolitical stuff going on, and Trump doesn't take no crap. If you guys are new here, smash a subscribe. If you're on the vertical, you can go ahead and head over to the horizontal if you would like. I'm here going live every day at 1 o'clock Pacific time. So, you guys, I was playing around with my settings for my vertical to look like this, with my head to look good like that. I'll fit in. I have to get rid of my banner. Not my banner. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me click it on. See? Right here. Bam. So if I have that, I go into this small little cubby hole. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my banner here to fix it so the viewing on my verticals looks better. So I know it's a me problem. Thank you all for listening to my little rant. Mike Volmer, you were number 1. Hello, Peace of My Mind. You were number 2. And DJ Brian here is back to talk some smack. Black Hat Team, how are you? John Legend, Blocky, Chipper, hello, how are you? I hope you're all having a great start to your day. Yes, Bitcoin has held on to 70,000. We have tried to challenge 71, but we're having a little bit of resistance there. So, and we are having some major threats coming in from Iran saying that they are going to target California. The drones are coming. Or potentially their underwater missile that travels 1,000 meters per second. Or something like that. I was just reading it. I think we're going to try and take their oil island, you guys. I think if we go take the oil island, the drones are coming. So I'm watching the news. As you guys know, I'm in California. Not trying to get bombed on. Not trying to have drones coming at me. I already pay enough in taxes. All right. We've got a homeless problem. There's people like trying to castrate children. Like, that was really weird. My thing just turned red when I said that. That was weird. So, it's wild. They called it the Wild Wild West for a reason. We are the Wild Wild West. It is absolutely retarded out here. And now they're going to send the drones. That was really sketchy. So I don't know if you guys can tell because the light is on. And this slowly changes colors. It will slowly change colors. If I mute it, it turns red. But it like immediately turned red. I don't know, you guys. Weird things are happening. I probably need to quit getting into my weird conspiracy theory stuff. Freaking myself out at night. But you guys, all the conspiracy theories that I followed turned out to be true. It's all turned out to be true. So now I'm like, well, what else is there? I need to go back and see what else there is, because that's probably true too. Are the aliens real? Are the aliens here? They're probably already here. Living amongst us, and we just don't even know it. They're probably already here. I mean, they've pretty much already confirmed it. So, like, why not? Just send the drones, send the aliens, send it all. It's 2026. We're going to ride it. We ride at dawn, you guys. Speaking of riding at dawn, I talked to my girl Joxie. We have been planning another very good show this Friday for you. And if you did not already see, I have set up the live stream for Friday. So you might have already seen what episode 11 is about. But if you missed it, it's probably because you're not subscribed. So go hit the subscribe button, guys. I'm almost to 1,400. So, yes, her and I were chatting this morning. We're going to be covering Jelly Roll this Friday. So there's some stuff swirling around about Jelly Roll and whether he is genuine or not and what else may be going on. So we've got some fun stuff to talk about. Jelly Roll, I have been digging in on him. I've got we're going to play a little bit of music. We might have another dance off. So, but yeah, it's some good stuff. And let me tell you, like, if you don't know much about him, which I didn't know a whole heck of a lot about Jelly Roll, like he's in the headlines, right? And we've all kind of like, they painted a picture about Jelly Roll, but then you start digging in, like who really is Jelly Roll? So it's going to be good. You guys will want to tune in on Friday. It's going to be a great show. And I might have a special guest. I've actually reached out to this special guest. You guys, if she comes on the show, I will be so excited. I have tried to have her on my show. I messaged her back in 2024. I tried to have her on the podcast. I'm like, let me know when you're in LA. She's like, I'm not based in LA. Hello, Po Man. Welcome in. Hello, John Myers. Hello. Hello, Blocky. Did I get you earlier? Did you earlier? I can't remember. All right, internet, don't fail me now. Don't fail me now. So, we've got a fun show for this Friday. If you have not, go subscribe and hit the bell notification. That way you know when we go live. That way it sends you a notification when we go live. So, and I'm going to try and do like a better job of pulling together some fun stories on our Fridays because that one did good, you guys. You know, my live streams, that one last week about Britney Spears was probably my most viewed live stream. I had like 600 views on it total. So I was pretty happy with it. I was pretty happy with the total number. On YouTube, that's a lot for me. 600 on YouTube is a lot for me. So no, it's not going to be Stacy. It is she's the girl that I've invited on the show. She's already kind of a celebrity. And she is what I would consider one of the first like female like internet influencer type people. So I have reached out to her to see if she will come on the show. So, because she would have just amazing insight. And if she doesn't, that's okay too. We're still going to talk about her. But if I can have her on, oh my gosh. Po got a ton of views on Blocky's channel. Well, that's good. Yeah, I have some stuff. It depends on how I do the live stream. Like if I do the vertical live, I've had my most viewed vertical live had 7,000 views. And that was like all organic, 100% organic. And so, yeah, but I have not done, like I don't do the vertical live in app. I do it through StreamYard. And I think the algorithm picks it up differently when I do the vertical live than when I go straight into the YouTube app. Because if I do it straight in the YouTube app, I get a lot. But we have to do it this way. So. Look, I have a whole 23 of you here right now. I have like, 6 watching over on YouTube. You guys, we're crushing it. I will say, I went over to my friend, what's his name? Thread Guy. My friend Thread Guy's YouTube channel. And so, because I like to see what people are doing and I like to see the numbers that they're pulling and I'm going through and I'm like, wow, he's had a lot of views on this. He's had a lot of views on that. But they have to be bots because he's not monetized. And like I'm fairly close to being monetized with the views I have and the watchers I have. So I know for sure his has to be bots. It has to be bots. So that's what I've been doing now. I go to people's channel and I'll see like, okay, let's see what you're really working with. Because if you could tell if somebody genuinely is getting like 24,000 views on their live stream, they're going to be monetized. You're going to be able to go in there and you can like become a member or you can send them a sticker or like you can send these things on their live stream after it's ended if the person is monetized. And that's not there. So it's like, okay. Okay. So don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you see. Sometimes people look like they're really crushing it out there and they are just paying for bots on their main page, paying for bots on their views. They do these things because ultimately they want to try and show like they've got these good statistics. I don't know, you guys. How are you going to have 24,000 views and you're not like monetized? It's just not real. It's just not real. So you can't believe everything you see. You can't believe everything you see. And it does take time. It takes time to figure that out. When I was new here, everything was sunshine and rainbows in crypto. Everything was sunshine and rainbows. It was fun. Can we bring back NFTs? I want to flip feet pics again. Like pixelated feet, and I made so much money off of that. So fun. So, all right, you guys, I'm done ranting and raving for the start of the show. We do have Bitcoin. It is making every effort it can to try and break to 71. So let's go ahead and take a look at the crypto charts. There I am. Okay. I don't look at chat enough. I do not. I love you guys. No, Poe Man, I looked over and you called yourself a foot hoe and I nearly died. I nearly died when you called yourself a foot hoe. I can't even, you guys. Sometimes you kill me. So Bitcoin has held on strong to the 70K spot, although it is having a little bit of a sell off here. We're on the 15-minute chart. We have printed a red dot and it looks like money flow is flowing out. So do we continue to go down? It seems to like all the way down to the bottom of the 69. Bitcoin loves 69. So why do I think that now is a potentially good time to start buying in on Bitcoin? Well, whenever we hit the bottom, it starts to trend sideways and will hold that spot for a while. It holds that spot for a while. So we're starting to kind of find ourselves in this channel around the 69 range again, which it seems to love because we've had the meme of how many times Bitcoin knocks on the door of 69,000. So hanging on strong here to 70,000 Bitcoin. I do think that we're going to potentially have some sort of move up. I do think I'm going to stay optimistic, you guys. So, but if we continue to go down for a little bit here, that's okay. That's okay. 69, 68. If we go down below 68, then we could potentially see another move down lower. Oops. Move it slow. Let's see more. All right. Like, get back out here. Look at this. We're just stuck in this little channel right here. There is so much uncertainty right now. There's so much uncertainty with what's going on. So I'm liking this nice hold around the 69,000 range. And hello, Jesse. It's good to see you. And hello, John Myers. Hello. And Claudio, hello. How are you? How come I have two live streams on YouTube? I do. One is a vertical and one is a horizontal. I get more coverage that way. I get more coverage that way. Although I don't think the vertical live stream feature is great right now whenever I've got the chart open. So, but right now we're taking a look at Bitcoin trading at 70,000. Money flow is in the red. We printed a red dot. We're going to potentially go down a little bit here. But if we do go down, if we hit, we have to really break down below where we're at right now to be able to move down lower. But we are stuck in this channel. And every time we start to go up into this 71, 72, we just clunk back down, back into 69, back into the 69. So it's a juicy 69. We'll take it. We'll take it. I need to pull out my Bitcoin 100,000 hat. I feel like that is the momentum that we need. So funny. So funny. Because that hat has been around in my life for like 5 or 6 years now. And at first, when the hat came into my life, 100,000 Bitcoin was just a dream. And then we hit it and then we went above it. And now it's like, I don't even want to put it back on because I feel shameful. Like we should still be above 100K. We should still be above 100K. Now, we have had mass FUD against Bitcoin. It came out in the Epstein files. People have largely not believed in it. Largely not believed in it. And we have institutions buying in. We have the government buying in. We have Michael Saylor has continued to bring down his average cost base price with this dip. And he will continue to buy every time it is lower than his average base cost, which I think right now, I think he's about break even. I think his average price right now is like 70,300, if I remember correctly from the live stream. But so we're right there for him to be back at break even. There's lessons in that because before this downturn, his average base cost was 74,000. He's moved it down. He's moved the marker down. So now when we go back to 100K, he's into even more money. He has so much more Bitcoin because of this downturn. So do you have more Bitcoin because of this downturn? And how long are you going to just scale in, or are you just going to one chunk buy in? You know, what does that look like for you? Because you want to have an exit strategy, but you also want to have your strategy of when you plan to buy in and what that looks like. So, all right. So let's go ahead and move down the line here. Ethereum, it is trading at 2,070, up about 1.5%. Solana, it is also up 1%, trading at $87.15. Chainlink has regained above the $8 mark, still holding at $9.05. So this is all up. Everything is still slightly green, hanging on with Bitcoin. Binance is up $651. Up about 1.5%. So as you can see, things are looking good here. Things are looking good here. Will it continue? Sui was trying to test $1 again. It also is having some resistance. All right. So, oops, I was going to pull open the crypto bubbles. Let me get that for us. You guys already know what I'm going to look at too, probably. Zcash is down almost 5%. Wow, 209. 209. World Liberty Finance trading at 10 cents. Remember, everyone who bought into the World Liberty Finance token, they're the people who were able to get in early as the accredited investors. Their buy-in price was 5 cents. So even if they were continuing to hold, they would still be up from that accredited investor price. Market cap holding at 2.8 billion on World Liberty Finance. That is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Will this one continue to go up? Let's see. What was up at 12 cents? I'm going to go over to the year. 28 cents. I don't know. Down to 9. I guess that was kind of low. I do think that World Liberty Finance is a token to watch, though, for the next run up. Hype is also one that everybody continues to talk about. It is up, moved up to rank 13, and is currently trading at $36. What is this siren? Weird. Pippin is still hanging on to the top 100. Oh my gosh, I bet by tomorrow, this one will no longer be in the top 100. It is down 2 places. It is barely in the top 100. Let's see. I do want to take a look at dog. Let's take a look at dog. Where? I need to buy more. This is the only reason I'm mad about it. All right, we're still at 007. Still at 007. Look at this. When you look at how far it's down from the year. Man, oh man. Talk about things that you coulda, shoulda, woulda sold. At the all-time high, did I tell you guys the all-time high, my dog, from the airdrop and everything I accumulated was up to 40 grand. Was up to 40K. So, but I do not think that dog is going away. I still believe in dog. It's at a 77 million market cap. So yeah, it's just one of those where I want to buy more of it because it is sats, which is Bitcoin. So yes, I know. Some of you don't like dog, but I like dog. So, all right, let's see. Moving on from there. Oh my gosh, am I small and in the corner? No, I'm back over here. Okay. We'll go ahead and remove that. All right, you guys, we do have some breaking news to get into. Oh, Blocky says, sadly, you will never see that again. Oh my gosh, how dare you? Take that back. Dog will be back. That was like, I think it was like at a penny then. It's like at a penny then. So, and it's listed on too many centralized exchanges. So I still believe in it. He says, I like Doge. I do like Dogecoin too. Dogecoin was good. Dogecoin was very good to me. That was actually the one that got me and made me love trading. But that one, when it was the all-time high on that one was like 13K. And then by the time I cashed out, it was less, but I cashed out the majority of that one though. So that was a good one. Not like my 40K. RIP that bag. So, but all I need to do is accumulate more because I do think it will come back and I do have faith in it. And I do think that now that there's been some of the movements in ordinals. I see a revival in the ordinals community. I see the revival on Bitcoin. I see people that used to host weekly spaces that had quit because the price of ordinals and everything was so abysmal. It was so abysmal that they all quit. And so now they're all coming back though. And all of these spaces that used to run, they're starting to run again. And I love it. I love to see it because ever since that, there has started to be a little more movement again. So Magic Eden, I think they fumbled by, closing down the ordinals shop. And now they're just focusing on Solana and it's just like degen gambling. And I just think that's really risky. And, here in crypto, we used to teach responsible financial moves and ways to save your money for the long term. Like the people who are here for quick money, they love the gambling, the hyper gambling side. And I think that there is a place for all of it. I do think there is a place for all of it. But I don't think it was necessary to shut down Ordinals community. I think it just left a hole. There's but now you see there's new marketplaces that have been popping up and things are popping off again. So it makes me excited. I'm excited for what's to happen. I'm excited for everybody talking about dog again. So Surprised we haven't seen a John token yet. I'm surprised we haven't either. I think we should make a John token. So, all right, you guys, we do have some breaking news to get into. I was muted again. StreamYard is rugging me again. So I could just move my mouth and make no words come out, and then you guys would think I'm muted. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. All right, you guys. Talking about being safe with your money, Wells Fargo. Signaling a deeper push into crypto, filing for a trademark for WFUSD. The move mirrors JP Morgan's similar trademark filing that foreshadowed the bank's introduction to tokenized deposits on Ethereum's Layer 2 network base. So, we'll dive right into this and then we'll talk about Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is one of the largest US banks, overseeing 1.7 trillion in assets, has filed for a trademark application for new digital assets focused platform branded as WFUSD, signaling the bank is pushing deeper into crypto and blockchain. According to a Tuesday filing for the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the UFUSD would offer services such as cryptocurrency payments processing, execute trades of digital assets, and services featuring software for tokenization of assets, among others. So, the move mirrors the JP Morgan similar digital asset related trademark filing last year for JPMD that foreshadowed the launch of the permissioned USD token under the same name on Base, the Layer 2 network built on Ethereum. In Wells Fargo's case, the WFUSD trademark may hint at the offering being a tokenized deposit or stablecoin. The bank did not return requests for comment by press time, but the bank's filing come as traditional financial institutions and global banks increasingly embrace digital assets, exploring tokenized assets and stablecoins. Last May, the Wall Street Journal reported that several U.S. banks, including Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Citigroup, held early-stage discussions for jointly launched a stablecoin. Notably, Wells Fargo unveiled plans in 2019 to pilot an internal settlement service called Wells Fargo Digital Cash, running the bank's own distributed ledger technology platform. So they have already essentially done this. They had their own digital ledger, now a distributed ledger. Now, whether they just decided that it wasn't best for that and they just went ahead with the Base because Base is already built out, who knows? Who knows? But clearly, this is a move by Wells Fargo to get into and secure their position and making sure that customer deposits do not leave them and go to the decentralized finance people. So decentralized finance being people like, Coinbase. So it's funny to see that everyone is building on Base. And as you know, Brian Armstrong has been there at the White House working on the legislation. So he is buddy working with JP Morgan and Wells Fargo and everybody else building a, not CBDC digital dollar. So why I don't like Wells Fargo personally is because, and I've told this story before here on this show, but I will tell it again and I'll tell it a million more times. Back in 2008, when the financial collapse was taking place, Wells Fargo would not give my brother his direct deposited funds. So he worked at Chevron and his money was direct deposited from the bank into his Wells Fargo account. When he would go to Wells Fargo to pull the money out, there was no money in the ATM and literally the teller had no physical money to give. So every morning he would line up and wait for the owners or the managers, the branch managers, and the personnel working the bank to show up for work that day. So as they were coming into work that day, he was literally saying, "Hello, I am your customer and I need my money now." So after 3 days of showing up, they gave him his money. But other people did not get their money back as quickly. And he's, he was a firm individual. So like people like me, I'm not confrontational. I'm probably not going to stand there and line up at the bank, but if I really needed my money, I would. So yeah, I mean it gets real, you guys. And so Wells Fargo is doing this because they see that the future is going to be this digital US dollar, this digital stable coin. Stable coins have been adopted. And so they had done the trial run 5-6 years ago. Now they've decided, okay, we're gonna launch on base, and they are going to offer payment services. And so this is a way for them to keep their hands in the customer funds. This is a way for them to stay involved. This is a way for, although the money is there, they can say to their customers, okay, well, we're going to offer this for you. But the whole thing is that Wells Fargo, if my brother was not able to stand there and physically demand his money, he would not have gotten his money back. He wouldn't have gotten his money back. And so now to think of the fact that Wells Fargo could have your digital stable coins, could have your digital dollars and not give them to you, to be holding them for some reason, but you're not able to line up there and wait for the branch manager to walk through the door for you to say, hey, this is messed up, give me my money. So these are just things to think about. And look, like my own bank is looking at doing stuff in crypto, and this is stuff that's going to continue to happen. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on to the next story. All right, stable coins won't get any kind of insurance under the Genius rules, says the FDIC chief. So, here are the banks continuing to fight back. The chairman of the US FDIC made it clear that even pass-through deposit insurance will not be allowed to third-party firms. Stablecoin issuers won't benefit from any government guarantee of their money with the new U.S. law implemented to government these tokens, said the Federal Reserve Chair, Travis Hill. So he also specified that the ban will include protections known as pass-through insurance, which the financial firms obtain through government protections on behalf of customers. So the Genius Act is being implemented now by the U.S. markets and banking regulators, included a ban on FDIC insurance for holding stablecoins. The tokens such as Circle and Tether that are designed to maintain the value of the U.S. dollar. That's meant to distinguish them from bank deposits, which guarantee up to $250,000 by the U.S. backstop. So the FDIC is planning to propose that the payment stablecoins subject to the Genius Act are not eligible for pass-through insurance, he told an audience on Wednesday at an American Bankers Association summit in Washington. He said, though the Genius Act didn't explicitly block those relationships, Hill said such prohibition seems to follow the intent of the law. It's difficult to estimate the extent to which a stablecoin arrangement could qualify for pass-through insurance if they were eligible. For example, pass-through insurance rules require that these identities of interest in customers be ascertained by those in regular course, which is not a common feature of large stablecoin arrangements today. While stablecoins won't get the FDIC insurance, the American bank accounts for generations, the law mandates that there will be reserves so that they can be protected by the issuer's own safety net. So protecting the banks, treating stablecoin holdings distinctly from bank deposits is highly relevant arena for regulatory discussion because the banking industry had halted progress on the cryptos industry's Digital Asset Market Clarity Act over whether stablecoin could be associated with yield. Bankers have argued that such arrangement could poison their relationship with depositors, which is at the core of the industry's business model, and which deposited funds fuel lending. Jefferies analyst said that in a week, the bottom of the stablecoin could translate to 3 to 5% of the core deposits runoff over the next 5 years from banks eating into their profits. It just goes to the big bankers, though. I mean, they're just wanting to withhold it from the little guy. And again, this is them continuing to squeeze the little guy. So the FDIC will not insure any of these. So it's unfortunate. Because that ultimately, I feel like some of the older generation, they are going to be less likely to get into crypto because of the FDIC insurance not being included on there. So, and I think that I think that is yeah. I read the notes and I just got like super ADD brain. Okay, moving on, you guys. Enough talking about breast pumps in the comments. It's really funny because, yeah, Joxie and I, yeah, it's... Why? Why? You did it to me on purpose. Did it to me on purpose. All right. I called it, you guys. I called it. U.S. Senate bill targets prediction markets on war and assassination. So Democratic Senator Adam Schiff introduced a bill to ban prediction markets related to war, death, and terrorism amid escalating insider trading concerns related to military operations. And this isn't even where I thought this was going to come from, but okay. So the prediction markets is under attack from their first opponent for the fact that they're including war, terrorism, and assassinations in the prediction markets betting. So called the Death Bets Act, it would amend the Commodities Exchange Act to make those contracts prohibited for entities overseen by the U.S. CFTC. So in a statement announcing the bill, Schiff said that the markets let traders profit from violent events, creating incentives or misuse of classified information, which threaten national security and encourages violence. He said prediction markets have become the Wild West and called for Congress and the CFTC to make it clear that such death bets are not allowed. The bill seeks to ban prediction market contracts that involve references to terrorism, assassination, war, and similar activities that are related to individuals' death. The bill was related to the U.S. Senate Committee of Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry consideration, where Schiff is a member. So there is a copy of the bill. So, and this war that we're going into seems to be reigniting these concerns. The legislation comes after renewed scrutiny of event contracts platform during the recent U.S. and Israeli military confrontation with Iran. When war-related markets drew heavy trading and fresh allegations of insider trading, 6 polymarket traders netted $1 million accrued by betting on the U.S. strikes against Iran. The 6 wallets were all created in February and placed their bets on contracts predicting and timing of potential U.S. attack, with several shares purchased only hours before the first reported explosion in Iran's capital, Tehran. So on Tuesday, a new wallet spent $32,000, almost $33,000, on a bet that the U.S. forces would enter Iran by Saturday, despite the odds continuing to decline, according to blockchain data platform Look On Chain. In February, the Israeli authorities arrested and indicted 2 people suspected of using secret information about Israeli striking Iran for insider trading on Polymarket. The insider concerns grew in January after Polymarket account netted $400,000 after placing a bet on predicting that Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro would be captured, wagering the funds just hours before the U.S. forces captured him. And as you guys recall, it was a swift action that came very unexpectedly, and people were all very, very speculative about where that person got the knowledge from, because it wasn't known. So are people on the inside making money off of getting this information early, and are they not beholden to the same rules and regulations as other people are? So if other people get in trouble for insider trading, it needs to go down that if people who are on the inside of the US government are leaking intel, they should also be in trouble. It shouldn't just be us. It shouldn't just be the regular people. It needs to be the same for everybody. So, but you guys, that is the show for today. I can't believe I have talked for a whole 42 minutes. If you guys are new here, smash the subscribe. I would appreciate, as I'm trying really hard to hit 1,400 subscribers, and I'm getting so close. So, as always, this show is sponsored by Market Cypher and powered by the Gokhshtein News Network. Go over to the Gokhshtein News Network to check out some of our shows. If you guys haven't seen them, we've got David and Landy have been doing the breakdown in the mornings with some charting and some fun stuff over there. I've been checking out the live streams. They've really, not only have the caliber of guests on David's show just, I mean, he's blowing it out of the water now, but just the quality of the show, the layout, the format, the everything, he's really stepped it up. So super proud of everyone over at the Gokhshtein News Network. And yeah, I'm probably going to be looking at making the Bitcoin conference happen. So if anyone wants to team up and work together on the Bitcoin conference, I will be there with my equipment, my cameras, my microphones, all of the good stuff, doing my live stream, creating content, having good interviews one-on-one, bringing you all the fun stuff. Anyway, and don't forget Friday, the Julie and Joxie show. We're going to get into it about Jelly Roll. So thank you all for tuning in. We will catch y'all on the next one. Thanks for tuning in.